Welcome to the Successful Life Podcast. I'm your host, Corey Barrier, and today, folks, we're going to be talking about how you are using AI. Why it's time to embrace artificial intelligence in your business. Look, I know some of this stuff it feels like it's super new, feels like it's super weird, feels like it's hard. I get it. But you know something, artificial intelligence has been around for decades, right? It's only in just like recent time that it's become such a hot topic in the world of business. And what a great time for it to be, right? You know, people are using chatbots, they're using predictive analytics. AI has been able to, I believe it's going to revolutionize the way we work, the way we interact with customers. In this show today, we're going to talk about why it's time for you to embrace this in your own business and how you can get started. So first, let's talk about, what is AI? Let me give you a good overview here. So before we dive in, why businesses should be using AI, let's take a moment to understand what it is exactly. So AI it's a type of computer software that can learn and make decisions based on data, right? Based on whatever you put in. So it can recognize patterns, make predictions. It can even interact with human beings, like in a natural way. And there are several topics that, including machine learning and natural language processing and computer vision. It seems complicated. I'm not going to lie. As I say that, including machine learning, I'm not even sure if you know what that means, natural learning processing and computer vision. So machine learning is where, like I said before, so if I put in, write XYZ for this, that, or the other, it's going to give me what I put in, right? It's going to make it better. And as I put those requests in, so to speak, it learns the stuff that I like, it learns the stuff that I don't like, and then it helps shape the rest of the content if that's what I'm putting out or whatever. So natural language processing, basically all that means is that you can talk to this machine learning algorithm like a human being and it will understand. And to take this a step further, here's where a lot of people are using this as far as computer programmers. They are able to now not have to go in and code a website, for example, just for a simple example. Now you could just speak into the computer or type into the computer what you want and it'll spit it out, right? But you got to know how to prompt it. You've got to know how to ask it. You've got to know how this, machine learning algorithm likes you to ask it questions. Why is AI important for your business? Well, there's several reasons why businesses should be using AI. I would be honest with you. First and foremost is it helps increase efficiency and productivity in your business. And it does that through automating certain tasks. Businesses can free up their employees to focus on more strategic initiatives. And what that means is simply free up your guys' time from doing mundane tasks so they can go out and sell more stuff for you. For example, chatbots can handle basic customer service inquiries, leaving human representatives to handle more complex issues. So it's not like you're replacing all your employees. You're just making them significantly better and more efficient. I think everybody wants that. If you have employees, you certainly want that. So the way you can get started with, using AI. So if you're convinced that AI is the way to go for your business, the next step to get started is, first and foremost, start small. Do not try to implement AI across your entire business all at once. That makes no sense. But we think that way. You probably think that way, and I think that way. Oh, let's just do it all right now so we can get the best result. Well, you can't do that with this. You've got to be patient. And the reason is that you don't have any experience using this, most likely. And so it takes time to learn how to put these things in, how to ask it the right questions. And, it takes you going in there and working on it, right? And practicing and asking it questions and seeing what kind of responses you get. And that'll give you a better foundation for how you're going to ask the questions from now on. So, focus on data. AI is only as good as the data it's fed, right? So make sure you have clean, relevant data to work with. In other words, when we say clean, relevant data, let's just give you a simple example. If you've got a bunch of email addresses that you give us, and it's that we're supposed to help you formulate a campaign on that, and none of those people have ever responded to an email, then that may be a bad idea. That's bad data, right? You don't have just because you have a customer's information, that doesn't mean you have their buying habits. It doesn't mean you have any of that stuff, but you should have it, and you should look at it for sure. So it's just important to put good information if you want good information to come out. It's kind of common sense, I think. So involve your team. Don't be the only person in your company that knows how to use this stuff, because if you go away, the knowledge goes away. And don't just empower one person in your company to do this. Empower two people to do this. That way you've got a pretty good chance one of them is going to stick around. So your employees are your most valuable asset. So make sure that they're on board with this AI initiative, and make sure that they understand that how it will impact their jobs. Make sure you're clear that this is not going to replace you. It's only going to make you better. Be prepared for the future. AI is constantly evolving, so be prepared to adapt and evolve with it. And so, to kind of wrap this up and put a bow on it, AI is no longer a buzzword. It's a powerful tool that can help businesses of any size, all sizes for that matter, operate more efficiently and more effectively. And by automating tasks, gaining insights, and improving customer experiences, businesses can gain a competitive advantage in today's fast-paced market. So if you're not already using AI in your business, it's certainly time to begin. And I don't want you to be nervous about this. I don't want you to be scared about this, but look, things are changing. I promise you they are changing faster than you can even imagine, dude. It's pretty crazy. It's wild. And I'm going to tell you right now that this new AI boom that is going on right now is just like the dot-com boom 25 years ago or whenever it was. I promise you, what I'm telling you is correct. You have an opportunity right now to capitalize, monetize, and get ahead of everybody else by implementing artificial intelligence inside of your business. And you probably think, well, Corey, I don't have enough computers for that. You don't need extra computers for this. You don't need anything extra. We handle all of that, right? But you got to pull the trigger if you want to get ahead. And maybe you do not want to get ahead. Maybe your self-talk, maybe that inner voice is saying to you, dude, this AI stuff is probably like crypto. It's probably a scam. And if the government is behind it, I'm sure it's a scam, right? That's probably what you're thinking. And I had a great conversation with some of the startups on Friday night. We had a meeting, and a lady, I don't remember her name, but she works with the Department of Energy or a subsidiary or something. And she was talking about how are we going to electrify the United States? Well, I think a lot of people that I know, a lot of people in this industry, in the home services industry, I know that you probably attached the current president of the United States to this new Inflation Reduction Act. Makes sense. He put it out. It's his deal. But I don't want that to hold you back from making more money. Don't let your thought process around what this Inflation Reduction Act is, who put it out, who it's going to help, who it's going to support. It's going to help you. It's going to support you. And the problem is a lot of contractors that I talk to don't know much about this. And so therefore they just don't do it. But look, median income in North Carolina is about $43,000. If you make less than $43,000, this is practically free. If you make $43,000, you get a massive rebate. I think it's almost half. I'm pretty sure it is half. So use this to your advantage. If you haven't done an analysis on who these customers are, where do they live in your neighborhood, and go after the people that have the bigger rebates. If you feel like that's your target, right? It may not be your target. You may only, you may not hit low income families, and I get that. But if I were you, I would really figure out a way, and I know how to do this. Obviously, you can reach out to me. But the most important thing is understanding how you can explain this to the customer, because the customer probably knows about this, right? If it was on the news, which I'm sure it was, I don't watch the news, but I'm sure it was on the news. And so people know about this, right? And they're gonna see this and get excited because, if you think about that, I'm going to give you a very uneducated guess here. But my guess is that if you fall into that category, there's a lot of government programs that help you. And so people that use those government programs want to use this government program as well, because it really benefits them and it benefits you. And look, if you are a plumber, an HVAC company, or an electrical company, if you are all three, like my friend Bob Sweet here in Raleigh. Why am I drawing a blank on Bob Sweet's company name? Because they're my plumbers, they're my HVAC people, they're my electrical people. The reason I like working with them is, one, they're a great company. Bob is he's such a nice individual. I mean, he's a good business owner, right? He trains his people. He makes sure that they have this type of information. He makes sure that the culture inside of that group is phenomenal. And I just went to visit him at his new place in Durham, and his new office is super cool. I mean, it kind of feels like you're walking into, maybe not from the outside, because the outside doesn't matter what looks on the outside, but you walk in and it looks like you're in like this art studio or something like it. That's kind of how it felt. It was like black and white, sort of minimalistic. It was dope, dude. I just thought it was really clean, really cool. And, he does a good job. He does a good job. His people do it. His son, Jesus, I'm drawing a blank on his freaking name again. I did this the other day. Such a nice kid. I am drawing a total blank. But anyway, he came to the house, and I talked about this on one of my shows. He came to the house, put his booties on. I mean, just the nicest kid you've ever met. Like, he was just so polite. That may be because he knew he was here and probably knows what I do. So that might make sense, but it wasn't forced, right? He was genuinely a nice guy, and genuinely he wanted to help. And I really cannot believe I cannot remember his freaking name to save my life. I can picture his face right now. So sorry about that, bud. But anyway, listen, you've heard me ramble enough about this. This is so important. I can't tell you how important this is, but I will tell you this. I'm going to help make this situation far easier for the home services. I'm working on something that will give you an incredible shortcut to understanding this technology. And when I tell you what I've been working on, it is super cool. Yeah, I got to give a shout out to actually, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say something really, really sarcastic, and I don't need to do that. So with that being said, we will see you on the other side.